Chante Wachte na Petri Uzape. My name is April. It was my given name at birth, and my Indian name is Naghiwi, Spirit Woman. And I am a Uŋčí of 32 grandchildren and 3 great-great-grandchildren. Today I'm going to read you a story called 13 Moons on a Turtle's Back. It can be the seasons, the years, or moons, but this one is going to be about the moons, and I want to share with you. Grandfather leaned over the long spruce log. The small boy stood close, waiting for the old man to notice him. Grandfather looked up, a small smile on his face. Kwe sopa, soza, he said. You do well at watching. Come closer, see what I have done. Soza reached up to touch the carved shape of turtle. How many scales are on an old turtle's back? Grandfather said. Hina, look. Sozap counted with care. 13, he answered. Grandfather said. There are always 13 on old turtles' backs, and there are always 13 moons in each year. Many people do not know this. They do not know as we Abakni know. That each moon has its own name, and every moon has its own stories. I learned those stories from my grandfather. Someday, grandson, if your memory is as sharp as your eyes, you will be able to tell them to your grandchildren. Grandfather, Sozap said, do other native people have moons too? The old man nodded. Yes, grandson. The second moon is called the baby bear moon. Long ago, a small child was lost in the snow. He thought she had frozen, but when spring came again, she was seen with a mother bear and her small cubs. She had slept all through the winter with them, and from then on, the bears were her family and her friends. When we walk by on our snowshoes, we will not bother a bear of her babies. Instead, we think how those small bears are like our children, and we let them dream together. The third moon is maple sugar moon. Long ago, maple syrup dripped thick from the trees all year round. You just had to break a twig and lie down beneath the tree with open mouth. But the people got lazy, and when our creator, Ichi Manitu, sent his helper, Manaboza, to visit, he found their village deserted, and all the people asleep under the maple trees. So he poured much water into the maples so that now the people would have to wake up, make fires, and boil down sap into make syrup. They would have to work hard, for that maple sap would flow just this one time of the year, the time we now call maple sugar moon. The fourth moon is the frog moon. When the world was young, and met with all of the animals to decide on how many moons would be winter, Moose answered, there should be as many moons of winter as hairs on my body. Amik, the beaver said, there should be as many winter moons as scales on my tail. Then Omakaki, the little frog, said, there should be only as many moons of snow as toes on my foot. We Askireka decided that the right was right, so that is that winter lasts only 5 months. And when it ends, the small frog sings their victory song, and this moon with their name. The fifth moon is the budding moon. One year, Old Man Winter refused to leave our land, and so our people asked for help from our great friend, Drukiska, known to some as the sun. He knocked on the door of Winter's lodge, then entered and sat by Winter's coal fire. Leave here or you will freeze, Winter said. But Druskiha breathed and Winter grew smaller. Druskiha waved his hand and a white owl flew down to carry Winter back to the deep snow of the north. The lodge melted away and the trees turned green with new buds. As the birds began to sing, and where the coal fire of winter had been was a circle of white May flowers. So it happens each spring when the budding mood comes. All the animals wake, and we follow them across our wide, beautiful land. The 6th moon is the strawberry moon. In late spring, a small boy whose parents had died when hunting game down by the river where the jogoho, the little people who care for the plants, live. He shared what he caught with those little people. In return, they took him in a magic canoe up into the cliffs, taught him many things, and gave him strawberries. He was gone just for 4 days, but when he returned, years had passed, and he was a tall man. He shared with his people what he was taught and gave them the sweetness of the red strawberries. So each year the Senecas sang songs of praise to the little people, thanking them again for this moon's gift. The 7th moon is the moon when acorns appear. When the world was new, it was covered with water until Earth's elder, the Creator, reached down to the mud below and placed it up on Turtle's back. Earth's elder shaped the sun and the stars, then sat for a moment, thinking of what was most needed, what would help the humans still to come. That was when Earth's elder made the first tree, a great oak with 12 branches, arching over the land. Then sitting down beneath it, the sun shining bright, Earth's elder sought a food for the people, and acorns began to form. So it is each year when the sun shines brightness, this first acorns come, and our Pomo people gather the moon's coming harvest. The 8th moon is the moon of wild rice. In the old days, they say, Bear came out of the ground and became a man, but he was lonely. He called to the sky, Thunder Eagle, come down to earth and be my brother. Then the giant eagle, who made thunder and lightning by flapping his wings and flashing his eyes, flew down, and he too became human. Then a creator, the good mystery, made the thunder people, the water bearers, gave them the gifts of corn and fire. To the people of the bear, the good mystery gave another gift, wild rice. When the thunder people came to visit the bear village near the mouth of the Menominee River, they thought they brought with them water, fire, and corn. The bear people gave them wild rice in exchange. And so it came to be that those two families lived together and harvested special food in the wild rice moon. The 9th moon, moose calling moon, and this season when leaves begin to turn color, we go down to the lakes and with birch bark horns make that sound which echoes through the spruce trees, the call of a moose looking for a mate. Woo-ah, woo-ah. If we went there patient in our canoes, the moose will come. His great horns are flat because long ago, before people came, Glooskap asked the moose what he would do. When he saw human beings, I will throw them up high. On my sharp horns, Moose said. So Glooskap pushed his horns flatter and made him smaller. Now Moose, he said, you will not want to harm my people. So the moose comes and stands strong as a northeast wind. He looks at us, then we watch him disappear back into the willows again. The 10th moon is the moon of falling leaves. Long ago, the trees were told they must stay awake 7 days and nights, but only the cedar, the pine, and the spruce stayed awake until 7th night. The reward they were given was to always be green, while all the other trees must shed their leaves. So each autumn, the leaves of the sleeping trees fall. They cover the floor of our woodlands of colors as bright as flowers that come from the spring. The leaves return the strength of one more year's growth to the earth. This journey, the leaves are taking a part of that great circle which holds all of us close to the earth. The 11th moon is the moon when deer drop their horns. Now is the time when all the deer must band together, in their winter lodges. All autumn, the bucks fight with each other, each one seeking to prove himself stronger, each wanting to be the chief of his people. At one time, the deer kept their horns all year, but when they entered those winter lodges, the bucks continued to fight with each other. Earthmaker, seeing how the deer suffered, sent Nanabush, his helper, to loosen the horns from their foreheads, and this moon of late autumn. Now each winter, when the deer gather, just as we enter our medicine lodges, they leave their weapons outside the door. Their horns drop onto earth, white with peaceful snow. The 12th moon is when wolves run together. Long ago, an old wolf came to that time when his life on earth could last no longer. My people, he said, you can follow my footsteps when the time comes for you to join me in the skyland. Then he left the earth, climbing higher and higher, and each place bestepped the sky filled with stars. Shunkmanatu Tanka, we call the wolves, the powerful spirits who look like dogs. When they climb the hills to lift their heads and sing toward that road of stars, their songs grow stronger as they join their voices. So in this moon we climb the hills, lift our eyes toward the wolf trail, and remember that our lives and songs are stranger when we are together. And the 13th moon is the big moon. The elders say our land was shaped by Ozi-Hozo, the changer, who formed himself out of the dust which fell from Creator's hands after making the world. He pushed against the earth to rise, and great mountains rose up on either side. Then the waters flowed into the place where he stood and made Lake Champlain, the lake we call Petobagok, the waters between. When Ozi-Hozo's travels on this earth were done, he came back to rest by this lake once again, making the circle complete. So it is that our own people of the dawn place one final moon at the end of trials each cycle. We call it Kichi Kishush Big Moon. Its name is the last in our circles of seasons. 13 moons. Old Turtle's back. Kichi Kishu Big Moon. And that is the end. Thank you for listening, and Medaki Ase.